And we are live, Two and a Half Guys podcast. I am your best friend, Midgie.
I'm Rose.
Your boy No Facts. Let's go.
And we have some very, very special guests tonight from a movie that will be coming out in 2 days. 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah.
2 days, Where the Scary Things Are. We have had the privilege of seeing it already, so sucks for you guys who haven't. If you're a fan of the show, you know we had Harrison on before. So could you guys introduce yourselves to the audience?
So I'll let, go ahead, Selena.
My name is Selena Blancha. I played Ayla in Where the Scary Things Are.
My name's Oliver Gibbons. I played Scribble in Where the Scary Things Are.
And I'm B. Harrison Smith, and I wrote and directed Where the Scary Things Are, and also the special. I directed.
One of our key moments of our show, watching the special.
Oh.
So how's everybody tonight?
Good.
Good. So let's jump right into it. B, how did this movie come about? How did the creation of this movie, the behind the scenes, and what all it took to get this movie done?
Wow. Well, we could write a book on that real fast. The interesting thing about this is some early reviews are coming in, and the main sticking point some reviewers have, which I've told the kids this could possibly be an issue, is that the reviewers are saying we don't like these kids, we hate these kids, and the funny part is this one guy said, I got to give Harrison props because he went so original with making these kids so negative, and usually everybody wants the Stranger Things kids or
right.
Lovable kids.
Yeah, the lovable kids. And then he goes through all of this and gives me these props. He goes, but, I really don't like these kids, and I kind of think he made a mistake in doing that. So I don't know. I'm screwed either way. If I make them like the Stranger Things kids, then they go, well, they're just nothing like but the Stranger Things.
Right.
And when I make them not like the Stranger Things kids, right, then they're
way too good. Way too good.
These kids are far from the Stranger Things kids.
Yeah. The one reviewer started out saying these kids will make you definitely want to, believe in contraception or not.
I saw that, and
Wow.
the guy had he spanned out to like a box of condoms. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go that far. These kids are definitely a handful.
Yeah.
That part too good.
So you wrote this and
Yeah, I wrote it, and I wrote it from the standpoint as, what if the Goonies were assholes? That's really it. Like, imagine in the Goonies, like, the 80s, of course, had all those movies where the kids were nice and they find something, and whether it's an alien or it's sloth or whatever the hell it is. What if it were the bad kids that found sloth? What if the Goonies were the bad kids and tried to destroy the town instead of saving it? What if they found sloth and got sloth to do their bidding and like kill people and screw
Right.
shit? So I wanted something like that, and my point is that the number one intention of this movie was to make these kids thoroughly despicable, and that you don't like them. There is no moment where they kind of reflect and think maybe as I said before, this is primarily this kind of mental health issue that is going on with kids, whether you want to bring in social media or whatever. Predominantly an upper middle class white kid problem is what this is.
The point I was thinking about the social media, like you add that element to anything, especially with children nowadays, and you get results like this. You got
absolutely.
Selena and Oliver, you guys were actually the monsters.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
They were definitely the monsters, and that was the point. We also caught hell, from someone saying, well, there's really no explanation of where the monster came from. And it's like, yeah, no shit. We didn't want to do that. And then on top of it, someone had said, well, the kids really don't react when the monster shows up for the first time. And it's like, no, they don't, because they've got murder on their minds. They're really rotten kids. This thing is not going to surprise them. For all they know, this could be an actor in one of the haunted house props that we see on the grounds. Now, we did shoot a scene, and Selena can talk about that, I'm sure, in a little bit, that we did give an explanation for the creature. Like, we do clearly explain the creature's origins. We decided not to put it in because we felt it spelled out too much. So the point in making this movie was to make a commentary on kids these days, but most of all, the detachment from reality. And my point is, what makes a kid think, like the Slender Man stabbings, what makes a kid think like, yeah, we're going to take our friend out in the woods that we've known since kindergarten, and we're just going to stab her to death.
Right.
Or the boys in Britain that took that little boy out of a department store. They were like 13, 14 years old, and they cut his freaking head off.
Were they like in the mall or something?
Yeah, they took him out of a mall. And it's like, what's going through your head to think, yeah, this is a good idea. I think we'll do this. And no one's talking about this. No one is talking about this desire. Like, these kids in this movie, they're not doing it for money. They're doing it for the likes. They're doing it for, we can prove we did this. And that's even scarier. The fact that there really is no motive here is scary. It's not like someone robbed them or did them wrong, or like even with Ayla, and I don't want to take too much more. I want to hand it over to them. But Ayla, the original character of Jenny in the film, was mentally handicapped. And that made Ayla even worse because she just despised this girl for being so inferior to her. And the owners of the haunt said, we have some issues every year because we have an attraction called the Asylum, and people come and protest because they think we're making fun of the mentally ill, and we're not. We're not exploiting that. So they said, do you think you could just change the character? So I just made it that she was afraid. She was just a very timid girl. In retrospect, I wish I would have kept her as she was.
Because I think she made mention of it. She was like, why is she in here? She's gone. And they were like, oh, because she's special. So I assumed there was something.
And that makes Ayla worse. That makes her more of a monster, because it shows she has absolutely no compassion as a human being whatsoever. And we're seeing this. I wanted to write this from the standpoint of we're not seeing these shootings in urban areas. And I'm not saying that one thing is perfect or another, but the predominant mass shootings in schools have taken place in upper middle class suburbia and suburban schools. And we don't know why. And the original plot, when you said, how did I write this? The original plot was the kids found the monster and let it go at their school to kill the kids in their school.
Wow.
But I knew we're never going to get that sold. No one's going to pick that movie up.
That's
right.
It's not going to happen. So we changed it over. It was a power station. And then the pandemic hit, and that changed everything. And that's how I met these kids. We originally had a whole different cast, and we had celebrities involved with this. I had 10 Wall Street investors lined up to make this for $500,000. And the pandemic hit and the stock market collapsed, and these guys just went away. Like, that was it. It was like I literally got a phone call one day that said, it's done. Nobody's doing this. So when I got the call from the studio to say, well, we see you have this movie called The Special. Did you sell it? And I said, yeah, I sold it. And they go, can you unsell it? I'm like, no, I can't unsell it. Right. We already walked down the aisle. It's over. But then they said, well, do you have anything else? Well, of course, with a pandemic shutting down the globe and everything, and you still need to work, your answer is always yes.
Yes.
I have something. So I relied on. I went to high school with a friend of mine. She ended up having kids. She had a boy who was involved at this high school across the bridge from me, Blue Ribbon School. He was like, one of their theater department kids. He wants to be an actor one day. I thought, well, what the hell? Let's try it. So I contacted him and his mother. I said to Peter, he plays Snack in the movie. I said to Peter, look, I need some kids. I need 5 more kids to be in this movie. And he goes, I think some people come to mind. I think I can get you these kids. And within 5 days, I mean, they know better. I was talking to all of them. I rewrote the script to change it from a power station to Field of Screams. And it just all changed. But the central theme of these kids being the monsters, and here's the thing I'll end it with, is that they have no reason. Right. That's what makes it scary. And that's what made Michael Myers scary in the original Halloween. It wasn't that he was chasing his sister or any of that shit. He just showed up and he killed people.
Right.
It's scary because you didn't know. He was like a tornado. He might touch down on this side of the street, but he won't leave. He might leave the other house alone. That's what made him scary. So with these kids, they have no reason. We give some hints in the beginning. They have some crappy parents.
Right.
And, the one review said, well, Harrison doesn't go deep enough into their family lives. It's a horror movie.
Yes.
This is not an after-school special.
But what I think people can get from just the little small car rides from all of the parents. See how horrible Ayla's mom was. When I'm in a little brief stint, like how she wanted to make her.
And we shot another scene with Ayla and her mother where Ayla hints very strongly her mother's the next victim. Yeah, we shot that scene where Ayla's kind of like, I want to show you something. There's something found, and I think you'd like to see it. And the mother was all drunk and banging her boyfriend in another room.
Right.
Ayla's got a shit life, and Scribble, we never even show his home.
Right.
But we know how bad it is because nobody comes to pick his ass up. Right? He's just walking home.
Right.
So,
you get a brief look into their lives just from the car ride.
Yeah.
Just like what's Brand?
Oh yeah.
He's gotten ignored by his mom the whole time. Just a little car ride. So he's seeking that attention. That's why he liked the likes.
Yeah.
Going viral was his biggest thing. So you get a little peek at it, but just enough.
Just enough to know that whenever you see a fucked up kid, just look to the left and then you see the parent and you go, now I got it.
And it could go to where we as parents create these monsters that roam society. So be careful what you raise.
Harrison, after watching this film, I seriously thought about my parenting tactics and what things I needed to switch up because it was kind of rough. Can you touch on, because you didn't really go into their character, well, not, I wouldn't say development, but their background. I was getting the sense that Ayla was being touched by the mother's boyfriend.
Yeah, I'll let even Selena elaborate on that a little, what she interpreted as a character. But yeah, I would say as the writer, I'd say that's an accurate assessment. Selena, would you like to weigh in on that?
I agree. I mean, you can see it that way. I kind of wanted to leave it up to interpretation to allow people to, decide that themselves, exactly what's going on and relate to their own situations.
So how did you get involved with this project, Selena?
Well, Harrison said that he called Peter and he immediately called me, told me that there's a part that he thinks that I'd be perfect in and that it's a movie. I didn't believe him.
They never do.
They never do.
Yeah, I was extremely excited though, as much as I could be, definitely. Because I was just coming from, small town high school theater.
So. Nice. So this was your first major film or any
Yeah.
kind of nice.
This was
Nice.
the first film that I've ever done.
So what brought your love for the art of acting in theater? What drove that love for it?
My sister, growing up, I have two older sisters. My oldest sister was very interested in theater, and she got really into it for a while. She later had to stop for other reasons, but that kind of sparked my, interest in it. My parents were really supportive. My dad really pushed me to do anything that I enjoyed.
Nice.
Yeah,
So-
I had a great support system.
That's most important. Don't create monsters if you have a good support system.
Yeah.
So Oliver, did you get into this movie the same way?
Yep, the same way. Peter and I did a whole bunch of different shows together. We were in like different choirs together, so we would know each other for a couple years.
Okay.
And so he called me and was like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?" I was like, "Yeah." I
Just-
mean,
Damn.
yes.
Wow. So what brought your love for the art in this way?
I don't know. I've just always loved performing and acting. I enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy comedies the most, obviously. I never thought I'd be doing a horror movie, but it was a great, amazing opportunity, and it came out of nowhere.
Right.
So did you say you also sing?
Yeah, Peter Asher and I, and Riley as well. We all did musicals together at the suburban or the high school we went to.
Wow.
Selena has a good set of pipes on her too. She can sing as well.
Okay.
Really? You might need to write a horror musical now.
You already got the cast.
You already got the cast. We can take this thing to Broadway.
How similar are you two guys to the characters that you play? Are you exact opposite from the characters that you play, or do you have some similarities?
Which one is that to? Selena or Oliver or both?
Both.
Both, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I was asking, are either of you guys similar to the characters that you play in the movie? In any way?
I definitely have some similarities. When I was a kid, I was a very angry ball of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely did, bring some of that to the table, and that's how I, tried to get a mind. That was my mindset when I was acting as Ayla.
Okay.
And I definitely have a very similar story. I mean, I've had some troubles in my past, just like her, just like most people have.
Right.
And, and it does something to you. And I think that is something a lot of actors can benefit from. And I think that's where I could draw from to be my character. But I'm definitely not as angry and evil as she is. Would never go out to spite anyone, especially anyone mentally disabled. Oh my goodness, never.
Right. Look, just doing this interview, like I have my contacts in, but I keep trying to zoom in because I'm like, this ain't the same girl. Like you, this ain't Ayla, this is Selena. But who did you study or channel? Because you know who I thought I saw while you were acting. You ever saw that movie, The Craft?
No, I haven't.
The Craft, and it's the one that had the short hair that kind of went balls to the walls at the end. Like I saw glimpses of her watching you, and that's amazing to me. For this to be your first film, do you see any of that, Harrison?
Yeah, you're talking about Fairuza Balk.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name, but yes.
Yeah. She definitely there's this psychopathic element, actually sociopathic element.
Right.
Definitely channeled for the character. There's no doubt.
Word.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I would say that I do pull a lot from. I studied a lot of Jessica Lange just because of her in American Horror Story.
Queen.
Yeah.
Queen. Yes.
I love just the power that she has and everything that she says.
Yes. So what about you, Oliver? Do you have any similarities to your character?
No. Scribble is such a hard ass. I'm
hacked anybody's information and try to
I kind of just like went into more of a method acting approach where I just kind of separated myself and kind of like went quiet. I didn't talk to the cast as much. I'm a very talkative person most of the time. I'm very non-confrontational, as Scribble was very confrontational in the movie. So I just kind of took a more secluded approach. Just kind of, yeah, more broody.
anybody you pull from that you mimic or
You just
Not particularly, no.
stuck to the method.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can ask them real quick. This will always jumpstart them, but there are only 2 of them here, but they can speak on behalf of all the others, and they all do a little ritual in the shower if you want to ask them about that.
What's the shower ritual?
please share.
The one day we were talking at like a lunch break
Yes.
about just like which way the toilet paper goes on the toilet roll, and then like, do you wipe forwards or backwards? And then the question came up, do you pee in the shower? And Harrison was disgusted at this question and turned away and called us all imbeciles. And most of all of us agreed that peeing in the shower is perfectly fine and normal because it all goes to the same place and it washes off right away.
Oh God.
So there you go. The Dockers, when you watch Where the Scary Things Are, all piss in the shower.
Oh wow, that's something to remember.
That was
Wow.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we wash our legs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like beginning of the shower.
Okay. Because I know, like, it was a year or 2 ago. It was this whole big debate that people don't wash their legs. They said that the suds run down, so they don't literally scrub their legs. And I'm like, what the? Who the fuck? Where are these people at?
What? That's crazy.
But you're already getting
I'm
comments
saying that.
from people that are like, yeah, I pee in the shower. Or I met someone who, because they pee. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I saw it too.
She said a great friend too. That's a hell of a conversation starter. Hey, dude.
Hey, look, tell us about Brand, because first off, the dynamic of him
Very
being so
common.
young, so young compared to y'all, but he's hanging with y'all, but he got the fucking mouth of the group. Like, he's just going the fuck off.
That kid, his name is Quinn Andrew Fickus. And you know what? Did you read in that one review we've been talking about? That guy hated him. Like that
No,
guy.
I didn't see that part.
That guy totally hated him. And he said, that's another reason why I don't like this movie is because of that kid. It's like,
Yeah.
we did our job too well. We made these kids so hateful, you know? But Quinn actually in real life is nothing like Bran at all. I had to talk him into doing it because he didn't think he could do it. And he killed it in the audition.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
You know? And he was like, oh, I don't know. And he's actually afraid of horror movies. Like
He probably hasn't watched.
he doesn't watch them. He doesn't like them at all.
Right.
And but the kids can tell you about Quinn. On one night, we were it was running late. The night it was like only a couple
night.
It was only a couple nights before when we ran really late and we were all exhausted coming up to this scene. And it was a quick scene. Like it was between Selena and Oliver, and Quinn had to be in it. And also, it's the scene. Do you remember when Selena takes the camera from him and says,
Yeah.
that, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well, they can tell you from there. So it was like 11 o'clock at night.
He wouldn't stop looking at the camera. He just kept looking at it. Like, it was a 5-second scene of me turning him around.
Yep.
And he just looked at the camera dead on every single time for like an hour and a half straight.
Why?
Was he doing it purposely?
No, he just kept looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Aww.
They call it spiking the camera. So
It
the
was
kids,
Spike Night.
yeah, Spike Night. That's what they called it. Spike Night, because and Riley, who is so quiet and this big gentle giant. He was just finally like at one point like, I'm gonna kill this kid. Like I just want to go home. And
Can we go home now?
it just kept going. I kept going behind the monitor, like back to one, spike the camera, back to one, and they're all like, ugh. And you
because it's not a very long scene. It's like, hey, give me the camera and delete all my informations while you're at it.
Right.
You like the smoke he has on me, and that was it.
It was even worse for Riley and Peter and Asher because they weren't even like on camera. Their just voices needed to be heard for that scene. So they were just like standing on the side talking over and over. They didn't even get to like do anything on the camera. We had already finished that part.
We also still had like a full day, of work that day, and then still had hours left to go.
Yeah.
Talk about being on set for so long and how it plays on you, just being on set all day long and all night trying to get scenes done for such a short amount of time to be on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was amazing because most of us couldn't drive, so our parents would come and pick us up and drop us off every day, and they just like stormed through it. Peter's stepfather slept in the van outside of the parking lot of Field of Scream for like 2 hours the one night and waited for us. They were all troopers.
Stepfather for almost, all the way back to high school, so had a bit of an in there. So, but he was very, very nice about it. Yeah, he slept in the van.
I just like to say one of my favorite lines of the whole movie is when they first got the monster and he's like, oh, it needs food and water. And one of the kids is like, oh, yeah, a kangaroo can go a whole year without drinking water. He's like, look in my face. Does this look I could not stop laughing. I'm like, it doesn't look like a kangaroo. And why would that be a random fact you bring up? So I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, they were really good. The kids, what I love about the kids is I call them kids. They're really not kids now. I mean, Quinn is still a kid, but they're not kids. But they really improvised well. Like what I love is what they brought to their characters. And sometimes they would just go forward and do something. And it's like, just let the cameras run. Just get that. So that also contributed a lot to, why some reviewers absolutely hate them, I think. Because, I mean, there were actors who read the script, adult actors who came back to me when they were reading, like Paul, who plays Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
He said right out, he goes, man, I don't know who you're picking to get to be these kids, but man, I hate these effing kids.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted. So they did their job. I mean, Scribble in the scene with the teacher, he's blackmailing the teacher.
Oh, he comes, his first scene is just like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Is a butthole.
That day Harrison had to like give me a talking to for like half an hour beforehand because I just like couldn't snap into the character. It was really Harrison helped coach me through and like pushed me to become that character. He helped egg me on. He like sat across the table and made fun of me for like 15 minutes.
Ah, damn, Harrison.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, because the problem with Oliver is he's too goddamn nice. And when he was doing the threats and everything, it was like, no. So I remember at one point, it was while Selena was getting makeup, wasn't it, Oliver?
Yeah.
She was in the chair getting makeup, and I'm like, okay, Oliver, let's go. I'm going to try to piss you off. And he's like, you can try, and I was sitting at the table, and I just kept going, and I'm needling. Finally, I'm like, come on, pussy, tell me something. Come on, tell me, right? Nothing but a pussy. And then
and we had to put him through a traumatic experience.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to give him some trauma.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harrison is a great director, though. We do have to say something about that.
He handled us very well.
Yes. For our behavior in the time that it was, under the stress that there was, under.
And it was like all of our first times.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So it was everybody's first time.
Everyone's first time.
He did such a great job.
But the only reason I was able to do a good job is because they were so cooperative. And
Right.
look, these are these moments in interviews where everybody's kissing each other's ass, right? But
Right.
it's really not in this case because, you know, we were under considerable pressure and a real tight time frame to get this film done. The pandemic had just started, you know, hitting the summer phase, and you know, we shot this all outside, but we had to wear the masks and we had you know, hand sanitizing going. There was no vaccine at the time, but they made it easy, you know, and it was their first time doing this. So, I mean, there was one day Selena showed up and she didn't have her outfit. She had the wrong outfit. And under normal circumstances, you know, if it were, I guess, another director or another set, it'd be like, what? You know, they scream at you for like 15 minutes. That's not going to solve the problem.
It's not.
Right. So we just reversed some things. We shot another scene. I believe it was her sister that was able to bring the outfit, or she met her somewhere. But the point is, they were all so cooperative and they gave you their time. None of them, as far as I remember, other than Spike Night, none of them were like looking at their watches going, can we go home now? I want to go home. Like they weren't doing that. You know, they were like, hey, we'll be here as long as it takes to get this done. And you have to be real careful about that because, as you know, Selena and Oliver have both said, some of them were minors, driving.
Not driving, yeah.
But Selena was driving late. I'm always text her, text me when you get home. I'm not her dad. I'm not anything like that. But if Selena gets in an accident, guess who they're coming for? This guy, right? They're coming for me. Right. So it's like, please let me know you got home. You know, some nights they followed each other home. It was all part of a very cooperative and collaborative effort. You know,
how long did it take to film?
It was what, guys? It was 19 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 19 days.
19 days.
Yep.
But you said something earlier, but I think it's a point that I think there was some humanity in the kids. I think you were saying that there wasn't a moment, but there was a moment in the movie where when they first captured the monster, I think
the monster had more humanity than those kids,
Midge. But she was saying that I can't let this thing ruin what I had.
Yes.
So it was a point where she was kind of vulnerable, where she was saying, I don't want this to get out on the town and ruin what we have here at this place. So there was a moment where she,
but it was selfishness.
It was selfishness. It was a good intent. Yeah. I can't unleash this on the town. At least the end result would have been good. But then
it was a more selfish approach. It wasn't like a humanity kind of thing. Yeah. It was more, she said, like, I need this place. Like, this is my place. I can't let this happen. Right. So I thought it was more of an insight into, like, how she truly is just despicable. She doesn't, it seems like,
not despicable.
I take it as she doesn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, I got it. It was a moment where I did think the intent was selfish, but the end result would have been good if she would have stuck to that plan.
You do see her as human, though, in that moment. It definitely does give you, like, a window into who she is as a person. Otherwise, you know, not just the outer shell of her. So
right, because you got to look at it like her mom's boyfriend's a butthole. Her mom's terrible. Her home life is terrible. So when she's saying this, all I have, my friends my mom called loser friends. These are who I have. So this is where I feel comfortable at. And us going to this
there's a great moment between the two of them when he walks her home. Remember that scene? Yep. Like for a moment, they're kids. Mm-hmm. For a moment, for a brief shining moment before the boyfriend shows up on the
he shows up.
Like he's going home alone. You know that, right? He's going home to some dark, empty house. And he even offers her, like, you don't have to go in there. You can come to my house. And instead, she gives him like this little kiss on the cheek or the lips. And there's a moment there where they're just normal children.
Yeah.
A small moment. A small moment.
A smidgen of a moment.
Right back on.
I'll take the smidgen.
Okay. So look, that brings me to my next thing. What was the infatuation with Ayla and running over all these guys? Now, the little one, Bran, he's just a psychopath.
This little pervert. That's all.
He was just a little
Psychopath with a camera.
psychopathic pervert. But the other ones, I see her like use her seduction or charm to kind of, you know, R. Kelly her way to keep them in the group with her.
Yes.
Was that the intent? Because I was just like, hold on, she's dancing with him, she kissing him, she kind of flirting with him, and all of them was just kind of mesmerized by her and following her lead.
Yes. So Ayla was a very power hungry. I mean, that is what drove her, is her need for power over people. And just the enjoyment that she got, you know, harming others as well. But which is the truly terrifying fact about her. But
rest in peace, Jennifer. Like you had to go and drag Jennifer there. Jennifer been minding her scary ass business. You know what I'm saying? And then you went and dragged Jennifer over there to that monster. But go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
When they started luring people to the monster, I was like, yo, this is fucking nuts.
Have to do the teacher like that.
Yeah, the teacher was kind of cool.
Not Paul.
Yeah, he was cool.
Oh my God, Paul, man.
Okay, rest in
Paul
peace.
made it through the special. I knew he wasn't gonna make it through this.
I said the same thing. I said, dog, they finally got Paul. Rest in peace, Mr. Lewis. God damn it.
They finally got him. He couldn't make it 2 in a row. But he also did a good job in bringing.
As far as makeup, was this the same makeup crew from the special?
Yes, I've been using Roy Kinnearum and SOTA, SOTA effects for, my God, it's going back to Camp Dread. I've been working with that. And Roy always I just tell him what I want and he gives it to me. Like the monster itself, I said, I want to see a little creature from the Black Lagoon meets Tarman, you know, that kind of.
Right.
And then, you know, even with the effects with the kids, with the monster bites and everything like that, Roy has always delivered. So yeah, it was the same makeup crew.
Can you give us a little insight on the monster's origin? I know you weren't able to put the scene in, but what is the monster's origin?
Ayla, you want to answer? Where is the monster from?
I mean, you can go ahead. It's what is it called? The pasta monster? Not that. No, it's the
coffee pasta.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the design of him. Yes. But in the movie, the origins of the creature, he's extraterrestrial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's extraterrestrial. There's a scene with Ayla and Max where he comes to her, and it's, you know, it was really hard to cut that scene because she really destroys him in that scene. But he comes to her like thinking, I did good. I think I figured it out. I think I know where this thing is from. And when he tells her, she kind of is like, you know, this is great. Oh my God. And there's this moment where he goes to kiss her and she was like, oh no, I don't. No.
So typically in a movie, how much content isn't used? Like
it depends. I mean, if you're Stanley Kubrick and you shoot The Shining, you know, you can make a whole movie out of what you've cut.
Right.
It depends. Usually when you're shooting quickly, there really isn't a lot that gets extra. So, you know, you're shooting efficiently. And so really the only thing that hits the cutting room floor are bad takes or things like that. We had several scenes that we did shoot that in the end we felt, because of timing and the fact that it is a monster movie, that it's probably best to make them deleted scenes. But yeah, so I would say, you know, every movie is different and it depends on the budget. It depends on the time. Like shooting a movie in 19 days is very, very different than shooting a movie in 35 or 40. The Shining, for example, took a year to shoot.
You guys got any plans on working with each other on any further movies?
Oh yes, yeah, we have actually. Oliver's returned, and he'll return again and again as long as he wants to come back. And Selena's just been in a couple. We just wrapped a Christmas film with Tom Arnold with her, and she got right across from Tom Arnold, and Tom seemed to like her. He was throwing her ad-lib lines, and she was hitting them right back at him.
Selena, look, we rooting for y'all. We are definitely rooting for y'all. Now look, I'm gonna let you know, Harrison, I was triggered for a minute. Because first off, you know, I don't like scary movies. Let's start there. I do not like. So this is the second one that they've made me watch, but I watch it because of you, my guy. I fuck with you, okay? But I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can tell you sincerely, out the bottom of my heart, I've never ran upon a monster and decide I want to keep it. I just couldn't get the concept. And then I started thinking, I said, you know what? We don't do that. Think about it. They took E.T. home. Now E.T. he was a little cute, you know, his head a little fucked up, but I probably can see why you could take E.T. home.
Bought a gremlin.
Look, Mac was cute.
Mac and me.
Okay, yeah. Y'all young. Y'all might
cute
not...
about this monster here.
Alf lived in the house for
Look. So I couldn't get it. I'm like, I'll never think that I ran across something and said, yeah, I think I'm gonna take it home and keep it. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
What you mean, like, why you're feeling that way?
No, why you felt that way to write that? Like, why the fuck? He wasn't a friendly, cuddable monster. He was hideous looking. So why would they want to keep that?
Well, I think, you know, it's like kids when they find a snake, or like when I was a little kid, if we found like a snapping turtle, the first thing we did was we got to keep that thing, right? We got to put that shit in a tire and, you know, keep it in like a pond, you know, like you had to capture it. And I think that was their instinct, I think, was we found something cool, let's keep it.
Some evil ass little kids. That's all that is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just kids. They're just stupid kids.
Yeah.
You know, like we were all
up on social media.
Yeah, and that's it. Well, then it, right? They have the Urban Legend Project, and it's like, well, we found this thing. Is it you know, Lockjaw? They refer to that Lockjaw thing was, and the father says, well, yeah, he was some, you know, creeper that lived down in the swamp. You know, is it Lockjaw? Who knows? It doesn't matter. The fact is, they find it and they want to keep it. And
that part
for Ayla and Scribble, it kind of turns them on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it does. It brings them, like there's an excitement between them, you know? Like remember the scene when she went out to yell at Snack, like to make sure that Snack wasn't going to give him up.
Right.
Right. Back in and he gives her the cell phone number of Jenny. And there's this electric between them where we're going to do something right there. And then he's like, no, let's wait. I want to show you something. And there's this electric because of the creature. The creature has electrified them. You know, it's played an influence on them. So in writing that, their world, it's like finding a snake. It's like finding a turtle. They're energized. That's the best way I can put it.
I text Niji and Doe, and I was like, I paused at that moment, guys, and I texted her like, what the fuck am I watching? Because I've never seen anybody. Pretty much, you go back and forth between this ugly ass monster and then the two kids having the time of their life, like they fucking Dirty Dancing, and then back to the monster. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
When you first sent the link, I was like, is this about to turn into kitty porn? I was like, please no. Listen, you already had me with the special, so I don't know how far you're willing to go.
No one's sticking their dick in a box in this one. No one's Yeah, but that's the point, right? You see them dancing and they're all turned on, and then we cut to the scenes where they're like beating the thing, like they're hitting it with a bat, and it's like it's this brutality and yet this weird, odd beauty. Like they're doing what I call the dance of death. It's the dance macabre is really what it is. Dance macabre. And that's what they're doing. They're living their lives around this thing. And like kids are really accepting of stuff. Like it's a monster. It's like this 7-foot monster, but they're like, yeah, well, you know.
I mean, but that plays back to social media because they're exposed to so much at a young age till you're way more accepting of things if you've seen worse.
Yeah. And then both of them, I think, you know, if they want to chime in on that, I mean, they're the kids who had to play it. That you know,
did an excellent job. Might I add again, y'all, every last one of you guys killed it. You had chemistry, and we're hard judges here. If y'all fucked up, we would have told you fucked up. But y'all did a good job. Like that's why I asked earlier, like how similar you guys are to your characters because you played them so well.
Yeah.
Look, I was ready to come on here and cuss you the fuck out, Selena. Hold on, how old are you? Before I start threatening
I'm
you?
19.
Okay, yeah, I was ready to come on here and cuss you the fuck out. Okay, but then I get on here and you just so nice and meager.
Right.
I'm like, who are you? That's not who I saw in the film. So like, very, very much kudos to both of y'all. With the job y'all did, well done with acting. Harrison, we still got to do your other movies.
Oh yeah,
you winning me over. You winning me over with some of this horror. I'm not gonna lie, you winning me over. But yeah, y'all did an amazing job.
I
like to think I have my own special brand of horror.
I'll take it.
I try to make it intelligent at the same time. Someone is just asking about From Beyond, and yes, I've seen From Beyond, and I've worked with Barbara Crampton, and I adore Barbara. We get along very well, and that was one that is said that scared them. And then have I seen Dreamscape? Absolutely. I got to see that in theaters when I was a kid. So yeah, I've seen Dreamscape as well. But I mean, those kind of movies influence me. Like when you're writing these things, like, you know, this, again, we go back to this. I always, the kids know I responded to this reviewer, and I've told them from the very beginning when we shot this, do not read the reviews. Do not comment to the comments, because no one hates horror movies more than horror fans.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Star Wars. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
That's something I've noticed since I've been following you.
Right. If that's what they do. They come on, they trash something, but then they watch it anyway. And Eli Roth has said this. Eli Roth,
watch it again.
Yeah, and Eli Roth has said, you know, the worst thing about horror fans is that they bitch and bitch and bitch that they want something new. You go out, you make something new, and they go, well, yeah, but it's not like Evil Dead. It's not like Friday the 13th. Right? And, yeah, because Evil Dead is Evil Dead.
Right.
Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th.
Right.
So with this, we have that first review that's like, well, you know, I don't like these kids because they're so against type, but then again goes on to say, I wish they were like the Stranger Things kids and played to type. And it's like, you can't have it this way. Right. And most of all, you have to really understand what you're watching. And that's, I will often do that just one time. I'll find a review, and when someone I feel is off base, you can hate the film. That's fine. That's perfectly okay. Art is subjective. But when you've got the context wrong, that's when I'll step in to say, I understand what you're saying, but yes, this was deliberate. Yes, I deliberately wrote these kids to be hateful. Yes, I want you to hate them.
You can't let them frame your narrative. You can't let them frame your narrative.
That's it. And then they said, well, there is one kid, he does have some redemption, but it comes too late at the end. And it's like, that's the point. And actually, Snack, you know, the one character, the script ended very differently for him. So, you know, there were changes that went, and Selena put in input on that. The way the monster kills early on in the shooting of the film, like only the first week, she said, you know, there's a part of the brain where they think fear is located. It's in the back or the neck. What if the monster bit there because that's the source that attracts it, right? The smell.
I always wondered why he always attacked from the rear.
The back. Wow. Hold on. So and this is why conversations like this need to be had, because I kept saying, why does he keep eating people from the back? I didn't understand it. But nice. Yep. Yeah, he got my boy Paul from the back though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But that was Selena. I'm like, wow, that actually makes sense. Okay, let's explore that. Let's see what we can do. And that's,
can we talk about the fear thing? Like, he attacked you. He was more aroused by your fear. Is that why he stepped over Snack at the end? Because he didn't kill him.
Snack wasn't afraid of it, and Snack showed him kindness. You know, he brought it the spoiled meat. He brought it, and then it didn't eat that, but it liked the water.
Right.
And it liked the water. And you know, that's why when they say, well, I'm thankful for their kind words as a director, but mostly you're a teacher on these sets is really what it is. And I'm an actor's director, so I like what the actors bring to the film. That's why you hire actors.
Right.
It's not Alfred Hitchcock where it's like, okay, Oliver, walk 10 feet, turn right. You know, and we're used to a lot of that on their stage productions because that's proper blocking.
Yeah.
and you can't, Oliver on stage can't go, oh, I think I'm going to say this and do this now, and I'm going to add this to the play, because then it throws everybody else off, and the director's sitting in the back on, so, you know what I mean? Like, but on film, they would often say, Harrison, I don't think I would say it like that. I think I would do this. Can I say this? And it's like, yeah, just go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes surprise me. Don't tell me what you're going to do.
Right.
Just do it. And if it goes off the rails, we'll fix it. We'll go back. We'll do another take. But sometimes you capture absolute magic that way from an actor, because if the actor feels comfortable with you and feels that, you'll run with them, they'll give you gold. They'll go out of their way to do something really cool. And that's what I love about directing, is really what the actors bring. What they give is just so much fun to watch and to watch it unfold, because that's art that's happening, instead of just a business or a machine and, okay, here are your lines. Yeah, it's very different, and some actors don't like that. Some actors want to be controlled. I had one actress, a very famous horror celebrity, who told me the most dangerous thing an actor can bring to the set is an idea. It's like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. So we didn't agree with that, but that's okay. So she did well in the film, but we both had different styles, is really what it was. So, and that's why with Oliver, it was like, look, can we kind of go back and forth a little bit? I want to try to rile you up. I want to get you nasty. I want to get you mean. I want you to be a dick, is really what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So what do you guys have upcoming? I know, Harrison, you said you got a Christmas movie. Is this Christmas a horror movie?
Oh, no. It's a comedy. It's a family, kind of like a little, like I don't know, like Christmas Vacation a little bit, but a little bit more goofy. Okay.
So Rosa, you don't have to be scared.
No, you see, I'm excited.
There are no weird boxes, although we were going to have, when they're ripping open the presents, we were going to have actually the special box.
A reference? At least a reference. You got to at least reference it.
Yeah.
So, Selena, what's next for you?
It is this Christmas movie. That is the next one. Right now, I'm working on voice acting, though. I'm trying to get that up and running.
Nice.
Not quite there yet.
Okay. Trying to be a Disney princess?
No.
What about you, Oliver?
Next for me, I'm going to college.
Hey.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Do you already know where?
Yeah, I'm going to Lock Haven.
Okay. Nice.
What are you majoring in?
Computer sciences.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, you leaving the acting alone? You're not going
I'm just on standby for right now.
Okay.
Just kind of waiting, holding off.
I got you.
Well, you have time to make your decision.
Yes.
Enjoy college, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Computer science, he's a real slacker.
Yeah. Now you can really find information on people. I see what you're doing here.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to end up doxing people. That's what
You're gonna dox him.
Okay.
So Harrison,
all his professors.
you also wrote a book, right?
I did. Yeah, I wrote a book called This Time It's Personal, and it's an account of of growing up with the horror genre, and what it did for me as a boy. I had Selena said she has her stories and such, and I think all the kids have a story in this movie. My story is I had a pretty rough childhood until my stepfather came into the picture, and horror was a really great escape for me. And my grandmother was the one who introduced it to me, and that's what the movie The Fields is about my grandmother. But yeah, that's selling well. It's done well. It was May's bestseller, and I had a lot of fun writing it. But it channels my life all through, how the horror genre influenced me growing up. So
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's getting good feedback. And the guy that actually said about Scary Things, he said, although Smith wrote a great nonfiction horror book, You know, so he liked my book, but he didn't like my movie.
Yeah, that's what it was.
What do I do?
So
let's
something.
not forget my boy Ralphie was in there.
What was that?
Yeah.
My boy Ralphie. I said, let's not forget he played the dad of one of the kids, right?
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yep, he was Max's dad. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Great. I love David. He's in my Camp Dread. You'll love him in Camp Dread.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
But I had someone come across my timeline. Said the 20 scariest movies based on science. I don't know how they calculate this. I think heart.
They went by heartbeats per minute.
So it's 20 of them, but I'm going to give you the top 5. It said number 1 was The Host. Number 2 was Sinister. Number 3 was Insidious. Number 4 was Conjuring. And number 5 was Hereditary. I didn't find Hereditary.
Hereditary sucked.
I didn't find it that good. I didn't. I like just.
I'll say, see, you PG-13. I'll say it sucked.
The one scene where she got her head, knocked off.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was it.
But after that, it was like more of a cult movie.
Yeah,
more of a cult movie. So it didn't really speed up my heart rate. It didn't, it didn't do anything that for me. But I guess if you have a fear of cults, then it would be your speed. But I thought it was pretty interesting that they actually created the scariest movies.
Could you give us your top 5? All of you guys.
I'll have to think. But what are your top 5 for scary movies?
I personally have a really big fear of dolls, so I'll put Annabelle at my top scariest movie. I'm not messing with that. When I was younger, I saw a preview for the movie Mama. That traumatized me. I refuse to watch that movie still. So I'll put that up there as well because it is too scary for me to even watch.
Mama was horrible. It creeped me out. Oh my God.
What's it called, Midgie?
Mama. Where it's like the little girls, they were found like in the woods. And like you wouldn't watch it. You wouldn't watch it.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that to somebody who's not.
Yeah, that's not the one to lead her on.
No. The one for me is The Visit, M. Night Shyamalan. The video where they go. I tell people all
that's
that
gross.
The creepiest movies.
That movie's gross.
It is terrible.
I don't care if y'all laugh at me, but mine was Child's Play.
Oh, we know the story. I don't know if they know the story, but we know the story. If you care to share again.
No, I don't feel like sharing it again. Just know that it's Child's Play.
Yeah, so it's definitely been some movies that sped up my heart rate a little bit. And, I just like the Conjuring series. They always always do it for me. And like you said, I don't like dolls. So that's definitely high on my list.
While we were shooting Scary Things, in the place where the doctor's upstairs room is a complete doll room.
Oh
yeah.
Oliver's face just dropped when we took him up because it was so hot up there.
I'm with you, Oliver. I ain't going in there.
That was terrible. I just stand there for like 15 minutes. Hated it.
I don't like dolls or creepy little children. Possessed kids? No, I don't want to see. No.
Yeah.
Like Children of the Corn. Ooh.
Oh, yes. I think Danita said that's one of her scariest moments. I just don't like it. Just don't like it. So just don't like it. So tell us where they can find all you guys' stuff, where they can find where the scary things are.
Sure.
Man.
What was that, Oliver?
Oh, I just said, oh man, because there's like a whole bunch of different sites.
Tell it all.
Yeah, it's well, first of all, it's releasing on DVD on the 28th and streaming. DVD you can get it at Target, Best Buy, FYE, Barnes and Noble. It's all over the place, and then Amazon, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And all these secondary horror video sites have all popped up with it as well too. Streaming on demand. Spectrum On Demand has it right now, and then also Redbox has picked it up for both its DVD and
Congratulations on that.
yeah, Redbox deal. In addition to that, it'll be streaming on Apple, iTunes, Apple Movies, iTunes, and yeah, we're looking at also. We're waiting to see. I think it'll be on Amazon Prime. If you type in the title of it, you don't even have to. It comes right up.
It comes right up. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'll be there, but Lionsgate has really rolled it out. It's all over the place. So I don't know, guys. Did I miss anything on that? Is that pretty much where it is?
I think that was pretty much everything. You covered all the bases.
Okay.
Are y'all on social media?
Yeah. So, what was that, Rose?
No, I was asking. If they were on social media. Like, can we get your handles? People want to follow along with your journey.
Sure, guys. Go ahead. Where can they find you?
I don't really have any big social medias, actually. Growing up, I wasn't really allowed to have any. So I just recently made an Instagram, but I don't post. I don't really do anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have a very I have a very low key Instagram. Definitely. Oh, sorry about that. Don't post a lot on there. But my Instagram is Selena.4371.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you guys what. After this movie, you might as well get ready for it because it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
I have to get ready to make one.
How's the excitement level for the release? Are you guys anxious, nervous?
I'm very excited. I have so many people that have been asking about this movie that have just been hyping it up, have been ready for it, and I've just been harping, keep going, guys. Just it's gonna be great. Just wait for it. It's gonna come out. And finally, we got the notice for June 28th, and then everybody freaked out in the group chat. It was great.
Yeah, we were waiting for it too because we had the first link he sent us and we watched it, and he was like, "Well, we're just waiting on release date." And, just sitting trying to wait, not talk about it. It's like
right.
Yeah, everything. The pandemic backlogged everything. I mean, as you know, even Godzilla versus Kong got delayed a year. James Bond was almost 2 years for No Time to Die. Mm-hmm. So we got pushed, and I kept telling them it's going to be here. It's going to be here. They're going to release it. And then literally I was working on my computer, and the editor of one of the magazines, one of the horror magazines, dropped me an email, and he said, "Hey, you might want to check your Twitter in about 5 minutes." And so I did, and there it was. It was like, oh, at first I didn't know that they were releasing it. I thought, shit, did somebody leak this? Now I'm going to get in trouble with Lionsgate or something. No, it was a press release from Lionsgate, a new trailer, the whole thing, and new artwork. The kids in front of the clowns, and that stuff.
Right.
Wow.
So they just dropped it. It was boom, and it's coming this summer. So the fact that they released it at the start of the summer is a good sign that they really liked it. They really came back with high praise for it. So we're going to see now how it goes. Whether I've said this a million times, whether we hit the moon or fall on our asses, best film we could.
We made a movie.
We made a movie, and that's more than most people do.
That's more than what most people can say in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, look, we enjoyed y'all coming on, and we're fans. Just both of y'all demeanor, and just seeing how you switched it from the characters to how y'all actually are in person. Crazy. So you have new fans out of us. Harrison, we always fucking and rocking with you. Okay, and we rooting for y'all. We're gonna be trying to promote this as much as possible, and we have a lot of people that do love horror, and we have a lot of people that love the special, so they're gonna follow along regardless. Okay.
Thank you so the only thing I can say is I don't piss in the shower, but that's.
I don't either.
That's what it says. That's what it says. But sometimes
I will hop clean out to pee and hop back in.
You get water everywhere. It's just a mess. It all goes to the same place.
I don't know.
Did you tell Harrison about your random DM?
What random DM?
With the special box?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
But thank y'all though.
I'm
We
good.
appreciate your time, man.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you
Thank you.
for having them
Thank
on.
you.
These guys are. I really hope to just get them out there more, and working with them was a pleasure. And now let's see how they do. And I really hope more. We've gotten some really good early preview reviews coming in, and it's not, again, we don't make your normal stuff. We try to just do something a little different, and sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. But I think we made a good monster movie. We really do.
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
We definitely appreciate
I'm proud of it.
coming on.
And I'm proud of these kids, or I keep calling them the kids, but they're
To say it was everybody's first time, they definitely rocked it.
Well, y'all gonna have to get on social media and get y'all followers up and make sure that they're, you know what I'm saying?
And advertise and market as much as possible, because people really need to see this. So
you are not going to have the average college life, dude.
It's your work.
You are not. Listen, you think you're going to college?
Look, can you imagine that first day of class? Tell us about your summer. Well, I shot a movie.
Yeah.
And they can actually go.
How did COVID affect you? Well, it gave me a movie opportunity.
Right.
And that's one last thing I'll end it with here for me, and if they want to say anything, but I know you guys got to get going. But they really, these kids, COVID really messed with their entire school years, and took away their proms, took away their graduation ceremonies. A lot of them didn't even get to say goodbye to the proper people properly. Their friends, and the prom was just erased. And that went on to the following year as well, too. Nothing has been the same. So I like to think that this movie provided them a little something in exchange for that loss.
Most definitely. It was like summer camp. It was great.
Yeah.
We all knew each other. We were from the same theater program, from the same school district. So it was just like we were going to a camp to shoot a movie with our best friends every day.
Yes,
it was amazing. Yeah.
So are y'all still close?
Oh yes, most definitely. We're all still friends.
Yeah, I mean, they're all still in the same Skype chat. I drop them a line. I hit all of them, and it's like I find them all there. I know that they come back. They the group chat something like I pee in the shower, and
oh God. We're gonna put a poll up. We're gonna put a poll up on this, Harrison, on how many people pee in the shower actually get out to go pee.
Please do let us know. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And also the debate. The tissue always come over, not under.
Yes.
Over.
Yes, it's over for me.
It's over. Okay. All right. We got that. Well, look, we appreciate y'all. Best of luck to y'all.
Great.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. The best for y'all.
Thank
you. Harrison, if you ever got anything coming up, just hit me up, and we'll be more than happy to do what you need to do. So
you got it. I love the show, and I love listening to you folks, and I'm tweeting you and retweeting you all over the place.
We appreciate it, man.
We appreciate that.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.